Hello YouTube, this is the Bucket here. I'm playing with my new tan folio that my buddy the UGD had picked up in a trade for me. This is an all steel hot rod made in Italy. I've been looking forward to playing around with this gun and haven't had the opportunity to. Just picked it up the other day from the UGD. It's a little different than what my channel's about, but it's kind of something a little different. You don't see these every single day. And I just was fondling it a little bit, having a little bit of fun with it. And this is what I was doing when I decided to make my video. So this morning I woke up to go to work and I received a comment on my CMP video about my Ithica, and Raymond told me that I had a Springfield slide sitting on top of a Colt lower. And I had never heard of something like that, and I decided to myself, well, I better do a little bit of research on that. And when I got some free time after work today, I did a whole bunch of research while my wife and kids were watching some kids movies, and I've got some information for you. So when you go back and you look, Ithaca, when it got its contract, was not ready to produce the 1911 A1s. So Springfield Armory had some spare parts laying around, and they decided they were going to go ahead and take some some spare parts and send them on over to Ithaca so Ithaca could utilize some of the frames that the U.S. military had in stock to start making A1s. And you'll hear from time to time that Ithaca guns were bad and that Ithaca guns were great, and you got to going back and forth. But what we'll take from it is in 1942 and early 1943, the early production Ithicas may or were using non-Ithaca frames. And so me being the historian that I am, I thought, man, if I got, a A1 frame that was actually repurposed from an A1 from World War I, that would be really cool. So the first thing that they told you to do when you look at a lot of these things, and a lot of this information is coming from Klossman's book. I need to go ahead and get that. Hopefully my kids or my wife are listening, and maybe for Father's Day I'll get a copy of that book. First thing they told you to do is remove the grip panel or stock and look to see if it had a heart-shaped cut. Some of the early Colt 1911s utilized for World War I had a cutout here, and it kind of looks like a heart shape. And if you have that, that's obviously a Colt frame. Now, not all of the Colt frames had the heart cut out, so I didn't know for a fact if mine really was a Colt or not. Through a little bit more research, it did say if you have a Colt frame, you will have an H right here, and it's called a Hosmer H. And as you can see, my gun does not have a Hosmer H on it. And so I knew from that mark that this was not actually a Colt frame. But then as I was looking down, I saw, and let's see if we can zoom in on this, a little flaming bomb. And I said to myself, well, that might be a rearsenal mark. And I did a little bit more research, and I come to find out that on the very first early production Ithicas, there is a double flaming bomb variant, which lets you know that you got, a matching gun. And now these really stopped permanent use at serial number 1279673, which mine is obviously past that. Yet here it is, a flaming bomb right where it's supposed to be. And as I do a little bit more research, I come to find out that 1279673 is the last model that they did it on all of them. Come to find out that they intermittently did it on a few other guns. And so I thought that was pretty cool that I got a flaming bomb frame. And then it said you should go ahead and check behind your firing pin block and see if you have a mark right up here. Now I'm hoping that I'll be able to get some images of it. But if you see, you can see, get my hand kind of straight, there is the flame and a bomb underneath the slide. So now Colt did use that symbol, not on their slides, but on parts of their frames in 1942. Now this gun has been appropriately dated 1943, so we know that this isn't a 1942 Colt frame. So this is a double flaming bomb Ithica frame with Ithica slide. And this is what I just absolutely love about the platform of YouTube and this community that we're all a part of. Because if it wasn't for Raymond, reaching out and telling me what he thought I had, I would not have learned more about the Ithicas. I would not have learned that they, in fact, for the first 6,000 or so guns, were using other manufacturer receivers / frames. I would not have known all of that. And so I really owe that to Raymond. And through that research, I could go through and find out that I really did have a really truly unique pistol, because to get a, outside the unique range flaming bomb frame, and then to have it matched up with a flaming bomb slide really makes me, this is my CMP. This is going to be my gun forever until I die and it goes on to one of my kids. So to me, it just makes me feel more and more likely that these two pieces went together, and the likelihood that when this went to the arsenal, that they just happened to get a flaming bomb frame, and then just happened to reach in the bucket and get a flaming bomb Ithica slide, and just happen to marry those two together, seems a little bit more far-fetched than this gun made it to the arsenal. They looked at it and saw that it needed no work, went ahead and put a stamp on it, and moved forward. So I could be dreaming for myself, but it doesn't matter. This is my gun. I'm going to keep it. And thanks again for Raymond for going ahead and giving me some of the information that he had, and for me utilizing that information to go, the next few steps forward and find out a little bit more about my CMP. So I hope this finds you guys all well. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and hit like. I would love to get your subscriptions. Any comments that you have, I would love to hear. Maybe you'll get me and spark me to do some more research to find out some more interesting things about my CMP pistol here. This is the Bucket signing off. You guys have a great rest of your week.